Hey, I'm Destiny. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My channel is about business, side hustles, and entrepreneurship. So if those topics interest you, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. And today I'm going to be breaking down why my first business failed. So if you've been following me, then you know I owned a brick and mortar, which was a hair extension boutique slash salon for 3 years. And I'm going to be telling you why I decided to close down my salon, because normally we always hear about the grand opening, but we don't hear about the grand closing. So I'm going to be telling you guys exactly why. A lot of the reasons new businesses fail is because of money. Typically with new businesses, they're not bringing in enough money to cover their expenses, which that was not the case for me. So I actually had a good system going on where the cost for the hair extension boutique was actually very affordable, roughly altogether about $800 per month, and I had hairstylists in there that were also paying booth rent. So what exactly happened? Why did I decide to close? The first reason is the owner's mental health. So in that case, it was me. So I had mentally checked out of the business. I would say about a year in, I was already done with the business. Like, I just got tired of going. I got tired of trying to be innovative. I got tired of coming up with new things. I was just tired. Like, I just didn't want to keep going through the motions of the business. And one of the things that I noticed with my business is that I came into a halt with my name. My name was Destiny, and I didn't feel like I had a theme created around the business. So everything would just fall flat. Like, I got so bored with it, and when I get bored with stuff, I instantly want to quit. But when it comes to your brick and mortar, you signed the lease for 3 years, so you can't just up and quit. I knew I had to do, basically you had to do what you got to do to make sure you survive. Just in there like figuring out new things to do. Like, I know like the hair industry was changing. It was switching over from people just wearing bundles to where they were wearing wigs. Then it went to custom wigs. People wanted color, and I was trying to keep up with all those things. So I started making wigs actually, and I'm not a licensed cosmetologist, so I can't do hair. But one of the things I could do was actually make custom wigs. So I had took a couple classes to learn how to construct the wigs. I started buying different things to make sure my wigs fit perfectly. And that was not what I was passionate about doing. So of course, when you do something that you don't like, in my case, like, it took me, like, I would get so distracted making wigs. So I'll look up and the whole 8 hours then went by and I'm still making the same wig because I'm trying to find something to watch on TV while I'm at the shop, listening to different YouTube videos, just distracted because I didn't want to do the work. So it would be times where I would have to actually, I'll have a wig due the next day, and I have to actually stay at the salon till about 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning just to get things done because I just wasn't motivated to make things happen. So it just took a mental toll on me to where I just got tired. Like, one day I just woke up cold turkey, was like, I'm not making wigs no more. Like, I'm just not doing it. Shut that part of the website down. Like, we're not offering custom wigs. I spent time trying to find like how I can get the machine made wigs, like how I can get them in a better size, just so I didn't have to make the wigs. And one thing I noticed with the machine made wigs is they didn't fit the same. So when you get a machine made wig, it's not the same as getting a wig that's custom to your head. So it's not the same fit at all. So that was one of the things that I know. Like, I was getting so burnt out with just doing the same things. I wasn't motivated to have any in-store sales. Like, there was like small things that I was just fed up with doing. Like, if something happened in the shop, like when you're already mentally checked out of a space, like if something happened in the salon, like it'll take you a little bit longer to get fixed because you just start not caring. Like, I stopped caring about if we open up on time, if we closed on time, who would cover the store for the weekend. Like, I just mentally checked out of the whole spot to where it would be people writing me, hey, I'm at the store, it says you're supposed to be open but you're closed. Once you stop caring, you just stop caring. And that was a horrible space for me to be in, especially with running a business. So I had completely fallen out of love with my business, and there was no way for me to revive it being in that space. Now, the second thing where I went wrong at with my business is that I created a great brand identity, but I had a horrible brand story. So my brand identity from the outside looking in, you saw the red, black, and white. You saw the consistent models. Like, you saw everything consistent flyers. My salon colors were red, black, and white. The pictures on the wall were red, black, and white. I had glitter, rhinestones, a lit up sign. My sign was big outside my door. Like, everything was perfectly branded that was visually appeasing to the eye. But when it came to my brand story, that's where we fell flat. So when you don't have a brand story, like, you don't have nothing that's gonna drive you to the next level. So I noticed that with my creative process, I couldn't create anything new because my brand story was flat. And to be honest, I didn't have a brand story. The reason that I opened up my salon was because people didn't have hair extensions on hand. So I opened up a salon that had hair extensions on hand. So we didn't really have a brand story. And then, like, as everything progressed, like, people started having hair extensions on hand. So now it's like our key marketing angle with having hair extensions on hand wasn't that significant because a lot of other people had hair extensions on hand. So normally with something like that, you fall on your brand values to push you forward, but we didn't have any. Like, I didn't make any. Like, I was so focused, worried about cute colors, the aesthetic, different models, my hair textures, where I just fell flat on the brand story. Like, when it came to creating different discounts, like having catchy sales, like, I didn't even have a brand voice. Like, it was whatever I felt like putting out, however I wanted to talk to my customers, that's pretty much what I did. So, like, as you can see, like with Fashion Nova, we know Fashion Nova is fun. They have an urban brand to where, you know, if something happens, they gonna turn it into something funny, put out a sale with a discount code to go along with it. My brand didn't have any of that. It was just, we had bundles on hand and that was it. And we were red, black, and white, and it was owned by Destiny. And most of the times, instead of even calling it Destiny Hair Collection, they called it Destiny's Hair Collection. So that was number 2. Now number 3, the third reason why I decided to close my store was the pandemic caused me to pivot. When I noticed during that last year, when the salons closed down in Michigan, I noticed that I was able to get creative with just showing my back end process online to get people to just order online. So there was no longer a need to have a whole bunch of bundles on hand when everybody was just ordering online. So I was able to use the pandemic to my benefit to start creating content on YouTube, start working through like helping other salon owners sell their hair extensions, which that was able to work out for me. So I started to look like, why do I even need a brick and mortar store if I can just sell hair online? I was already mentally checked out of it. My brand already didn't have a story, like it was falling flat, and I knew I wanted to rebrand, but I was stuck into how do I rebrand a full salon when I already have all of this signage. I knew I wanted to have a traveling brand, but my whole salon was red, black, and white. So in order to even transfer over to traveling hair company, which having a traveling hair company with a brick and mortar store doesn't even make sense because I'm always going to be on the go. Like, it just made sense. Like, the best decision for me was to close it down, push my sales online, not worry about the overhead, and just focus on redeveloping my brand the correct way, finding a name that fits, getting the proper logo, just rebuilding my brand from the ground up, choosing the correct brand story, making sure I have everything in line with my back end, just choosing like the different things. Like, if I didn't want to make wigs, I didn't want to create a brand, a new brand that consisted of me making wigs. Like, I knew I wanted to just cater to the people who wanted to wear their hair extensions online, who didn't want to change their hair all the time. So I needed to focus on building that from the ground up and just starting completely over, because a lot of the times people think starting over is a bad thing. With me, I'm willing to start over. Like, if something doesn't work out, which I'm perfectly fine with my first business not working out, like, that's just what it is. And a lot of people are scared of that. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them in the comment section below. Don't forget to connect with me on social media. I am Destiny Adams on all platforms. So that's TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, LinkedIn, pretty much everything. I have a free Facebook group called the Side Business Hustle. So if you want to connect with some other people who watch my channel or promote your business, you can add that, and it's going to be in the description below. And yeah, go ahead and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.